to bring us home to herbs is herbs as medicine. The difference between a herb and
The spice?
a spice, what is it?
Process?
What's the difference between a spice and a herb? Let's see if you know. The value add, right? It's the seed, the process is the seeds, the everything else. The herb is usually the leaf.
Yeah.
And then the spice is
what
comes out of
it.
the herb. So she's going to be supported by Muriithi.
She's the main lecturer. So.
Yes, but you're both the steering wheel together. But let's welcome Jemima. She talks about it. Jemima was in India. So what I love about Jemima is her dedication to excellence and understanding. So she's not one of those who sells something for the sake of it because it looks like good to market. So she's always traveling to go and learn. So she was in India for 2 weeks to go and learn about certain types of ways of doing the herbs, and or learning how to. She's always on a trip to go and see the best so that she can come and value add in her own company and in her own thing. I don't know how many of you have stopped by her shop on the road in Syokimau. I always try with Mark to go and stop by and support her and buy from her. I think I did a big function for my mother and all her friends, anybody above age 75 to 90. And I had her bring all her friends, and we did I gave Jemima an idea to do a gift pack for elderly people on different products. So I was the test case, since I was the idea holder. And we did a test case for all the mothers and my dad's friends and everything, but it worked really well, and that's really done well. So we're going to be talking about that, but before that, I think we can move away from the sun.
I really love the kind of information that we've had already. Yeah. And I think it's a sign that we are onto something amazing, something really, really good. So my passion, where it started from, I didn't grow up in a farm. In fact, the day my mom saw my plantation of chili, because I've done chili before, she was so amazed. My sister came to visit me. I had never told my parents, and she took videos. And my mom was like, who taught you these things? We are not farmers, because my mother is such a business person, so she believes you can get the money quicker than trying to go through the entire process. But I love the process. And where did my passion come from? Growing up, I just wanted to be a doctor. And it's because of a very interesting story behind there. I am a leukemia survivor as a child. And I think it just gave me some passion for wellness and to understand why are we why do we suffer the way we suffer? What is this? How does it come about? How can it be circumvented? What can we do? And but I didn't manage to do that, I guess because of our education system and the level of exposure that I had that time. So I missed by a point, and we didn't know any other better way, but I'm glad that happened. So I studied different things. I did BCom, finance, worked for many years, but that passion still lingered. So in 2018, I decided to just step out from the corporate space, go out there and start doing something. And I remember one day, as I was going to hand over to the person taking up after me, I got this fear. Maybe women will understand. I got this fear of, I'm about to become a housewife. And I don't think that's a place I want to be at. Yeah. I went to a school that was amazing, Moi Girls Eldoret. And I remember there's this teacher who used to keep telling us, please, Moi girls, listen to me. And she would hold her ears. Listen to me. Never borrow money for salt. Yeah. So I remembered her. And I was like, no, there's no way I'm becoming a housewife. And right there, an idea came about. I saw a shop in Syokimau, the shop that Monica has talked about. I saw it, and I realized this shop has been closed for some time. Why is it closed? I don't know much about what I want to do, but I've seen something. So I just drove in. It's a very long story, but I'll really cut it. Drove in, managed to speak to the landlord, and within maybe a month or two, I opened the doors to a juice bar. Yeah. So I remember going home and telling my husband, hey, I'm really thinking of what I will do before I think of either getting another job or what I really want to do. So I've seen this idea and I think I'll just do it. You know, it almost looks like a mama mboga kind of thing, but I am ready. I will just do it. Yeah, so of course I got the right support, went ahead, set that up and started. And interestingly, it's something that I was so used to doing. I'm this kind of person who would make their own juices at home, smoothies, ice cream, you know, yogurt. I can curate things with my hands. So I was just like, let me just transfer this and commercialize it. And that's what I did. So I started out there. That was 2018. 2020, I sat in a class called the Fearless Bootcamp that is held by Pastor Muriithi. I just came across it and I was like, this is so good. So I sat in there. The takeaway for the class was to write a book. And in our training, we were taught, write about something you're passionate about. So it helped me bring my mind together and think, what is this thing that I'm very passionate about that I want to write about? And it just boiled down to healthy living. Yeah. So I believe I should have been a teacher maybe if I wasn't a doctor or something, but I love to break down information. So I think, let me write a book which anybody, when anybody holds it, they will start thinking about their health in a different way. Because many times we study many things, we know a lot. You know the reason I'm carrying a notebook? Yesterday night, when I remembered KHS, the people I'm coming to speak to, I was like, there's an intelligent bunch of people. So I was like, I better have my notes so that I don't forget anything. Yeah. So I was like, so many times we study so many things. We know a lot, but we never get back to studying ourselves. Just understanding your body. What is the action of food in your body? How does food sit with you? And it's different for everybody, including twins. Yeah. For one person, milk is okay. It sits well in your gut. For another person, it doesn't. Yeah. So I was just like, let me just start writing about that. Something like that. Let's just start thinking. In school, we were taught the different food groupings. But just as David said, there are others that maybe we were not taught. Yeah. Things like what he was talking about, the fungi. Nobody taught us about bacteria. Nobody taught us about, good bacteria or bad bacteria. And so I started thinking about things like probiotics. And these are things I was just self-educating myself that time about. So I said, let me put together a book which will be like, almost like a go-to place for anybody who wants to understand themselves. As I was doing my research around that book, I also learned that your body actually speaks, yeah? But do you know the language of your body? Yeah. Like for example, your body will tell you, I'm thirsty, I need water, yeah. Or your body will tell you, you're gaining a little bit more weight than you can carry, because there's a pain you feel somewhere, and you're like, okay, I need to manage this. But many times we just look at it and we forget about it, and we don't try to do anything about it. So that's why I wrote that book. But after writing the book, it opened me up to another channel. It's actually my husband who started telling me, when people look at your CV, you're a big home, you're a finance person, you're what, you've done all this, but have you earned a right to be heard with regards to this thing that you're trying to teach people? So that made me go back to school.
Please return the books back to her.
Yeah. So the first book was this one. It's called Gems of Healthy Living. So I went back to school. I started looking for something I can do, and I was ready to even go back and do medicine, but I knew I just don't want to do the conventional medicine. It has to be something different. But what I came across initially that time was a holistic nutrition course. So I did holistic nutrition and phytotherapy. Phytotherapy is actually just the science around using plants as medicine. Yeah, I learned it. I was excited. This story is very long because there's also a family member who was unwell that time, and they became my guinea pig. They were really suffering a lot of H. pylori issues and stuff. And through my studies, I was like, let's deal with this thing. We were actually at the verge of going to India, and as Kenyans, when you try to treat something around and it's not working, you go to India, right? So we were on the verge of going to India, but I was like, let me try something. So we changed the diet. We started including herbs in their meals, just changing things here and there, and they fully recovered. And they didn't need to take, yeah, that's a good place to clap. They didn't have to take any other medication again. And for those who've had H. pylori, you know that kit is not easy. It's really, really crazy. Yeah, so that's how my journey has been. It has continued on and on. I've continued getting exposure around it, involving myself with different organizations that are doing serious research around herbs. And around COVID, again, that time, 2021, I decided to add in something to my juices at the shop. And so I got into herbs, just as I was trying to treat this family member. So I got into this pole, just learning. Once I am sure about something, I bring it on board. Yeah. So I look for testimonials. I look for very, very verifiable suppliers. And once I get it, I bring it on board. So that's what I've been doing. So today, what I want to talk about is, because maybe we are talking about herbs, and you're like, what are those things, you know? Yeah, we might think that everybody understands, but maybe it's just not easy as it looks. So they take many forms, but I would want to look at them as plants or parts of plants that are used for different things. So as I think it's Maggie who was responding to Monica's question about the difference between a herb and a spice. It's about the process, yeah? So some are used for flavor, others are used for the aroma, others are used for their nutritional value, others are used for, they just have other health supporting properties. And so it comes, they're in different forms. So you can have that, some that are in leaf form. For example, Moringa. Moringa is a leaf. Stinging nettle is a leaf. Let me just give a quick breakdown. Okay, so that we can share around that. Yeah. Okay, sour. So some are in leaf form like Moringa. Moringa is the leaf that we process. Yeah. So it's totally value addition. This is what we process. And so there are different benefits. I would like Muriithi to say something about the benefits.
Moringa is it's a miracle tree. Yeah. That's what it's called. And it's one of those things when you hear the benefits, you think it's a quack telling you things. Because it does everything. For me, the biggest benefit is energy. As you're getting past your 40s, which I'm assuming many people here are, some of us, 40 was a while back, you actually find, like for me with my job, I stand in front of people like from 8 o'clock teaching until 6 o'clock in the evening. And I'll do that sometimes 4 days in a conference. With Moringa, it's like a magic pill. It's like caffeine without a crush.
And I want to testify to that because I carry Moringa for Mark knows every time I'm teaching and I'm traveling. Moringa is my to-go-to before I stand in front of a classroom. I do Moringa and Neem, and I'm like, I'm on a high the whole day with, and to come here, I also start with Moringa.
That explains it.
It's not a knuckle.
That explains it.
It is a knuckle.
Not knuckles in it.
It is a knuckle. Now we know.
And literally, I do Moringa and Neem. I'm like, if I've done Moringa and Neem, I'll have energy the entire day standing.
I consider it like it's a base. If you're going to take one thing,
Take Moringa.
take Moringa.
Exactly.
It's good for your skin. It's great for your skin. It's great for your hair. For the ladies, for the guys, it's an inconvenience. I end up shaving twice the rate I used to. I used to get a haircut two times every 2 weeks. Now I have to do it every week because your hair just grows. It's great in the right places, huh? That's not what you're asking. Well, there's other products for when it's gone. It's great for your eyesight. It's really good because it's got a whole load of vitamin A. So basically what Moringa is, it's a multivitamin, but at a fraction of the cost. It's really the kind of thing you want to teach people, especially in Ukambani, because it thrives in this weather. You can eat it as a salad. So just cook your mbogas and just before they're ready, you can throw it in, or you can eat them raw, or you can take the powder, put it in your porridge, grow it. I think it's one of those things, just grow a Moringa tree on your farm. It's worth it. But for the capsules are good if you can't stand the taste, like me.
For me, when I'm traveling, I use the capsule format because at least somebody believes it's medicine. Yeah.
One other thing about Moringa, which is true for many supplements, it's not medicine. So you really load up, and it's not the kind of thing you take. I'm feeling unwell. I need energy now. I take.
Yeah.
It's like it's better if you take it consistently.
Very true.
And so if you just make a habit of, if it's in your smoothie every day, or it's in your porridge every day, or you take capsules every day, I do that just because I find when you do it consistently, then it just becomes your new. It becomes you. You just have energy and all the benefits.
Exactly.
It's much more effective when you do it consistently.
Yeah. And then the other thing, now this being very natural, like for me when I like steeping my tea, you know, in a steeping pot. After steeping, whatever I sieve, I put it in our greens.